$5 your way with the Lux Cravings boxes from Taco Bell. There's the classic $5 box, the indulgent $7 box, and a whole new obsession in the $9 box, the Flamin' Hot Grilled Cheese Burrito. Try the Lux Cravings boxes at Taco Bell today.
How's your day going?
Going good, thank you, yes.
Check out the all-new Blue and Orange store at the Boise State Hall of Fame. The Blue and Orange store has your best game day gear. We're talking jerseys, hats, bumper stickers, car flags, more than 4,000 hats on the hat wall. If you want the best Boise State gear, make sure you check out the Blue and Orange store online at theblueandorangestore.com or the all-new Blue and Orange store down at the Boise State Allen Noble Hall of Fame.
As sports fans, we may cheer for different teams, but there's one thing that we can all agree on. We want the game to be big. And with 3 levels, 30 cabanas, a 143-foot screen, 6 clean pools, and endless cold drinks, it doesn't get any bigger or any better than Stadium Swim in Las Vegas. All sports, all seasons. It's more than a pool deck. Stadium Swim. It's the only thing like it in the world.
Really, guys?
What? Jackson's always has this game right.
Let's go!
It's the all-wheel drive event at Lithia Ford of Boise. From hunting trips to ski trips to trips to Grandma's house. Nobody does AWD like LFB, Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
Find your sun with Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Made with real iced tea and real vodka. Cold, refreshing, and made for moments like these all year long. Let the good times cruise with Sun Cruiser.
When I want Boise State to win, I trust Coach Rice to lead the Broncos to victory.
And when I want the best painting and garage floor coating, I trust rowpaint.com to get that job done right.
It's time for the Jackson's Postgame Show on Bronco Nation News. We're breaking down the game with highlights, interviews, analysis, and most importantly, you. Give your thoughts on the game in the ICCU YouTube chat. Or leave us a message on the Signature Roofing voice box at speakpipe.com/BNN. The BNN Postgame Show is presented by Jackson's, where you can get a 99-cent 16-ounce coffee or refill with Let's Go Rewards. Need snacks or a cold drink? Visit one of the 300 Jackson's locations today. BNN broadcasts come from the Sun Cruiser Studios. Sunny days call for Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea, made with real iced tea and real vodka. It's refreshingly smooth and easy to drink. Crack open a Sun Cruiser and let the good times cruise. Bronco Nation News is presented by our title sponsor, Lithia Ford of Boise, and our major sponsors, Taco Bell, Idaho Central Credit Union, rowpaint.com, and the Blue and Orange store. At Lithia Ford of Boise, we're proud to stand with Boise State Athletics. Through our NIL marketing partnerships, we're investing in the future of student athletes. Lithia Ford of Boise, here to get you there, wherever that may be. Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho. Now, let's go courtside to the Sun Cruiser Studios and join BJ Rains for the Jackson's Postgame Show on Bronco Nation News.
Well, the three-pointer from Brennan Ramirez. Look at the bench. Who would have thought this scene would have happened 9 days ago? Abe Jackson, 3 wins in a row. It's a party at Extra Mile Arena as the Boise State men's basketball team. Everybody was in the scorers column. 12 different players scored tonight. They spread out the minutes. They spread out the fun. It was a much-needed party here at Extra Mile Arena.
It was, and we were talking about the spread, 23.5, thinking, man, that's a heck of a win. A good win is what, like 9-14 or 15, very solid win, and then you end up winning by over 40. So one of the games that you knew the Broncos were going to win, but just by how much, and they came out, and other than what, it was 9-8, and then it was just kind of a slow trickle up till double digits and 40.
I don't know what my favorite part of the game was. Maybe it was Abe Jackson getting honored on the court. Maybe it was Zeke Martinez, the walk-on quarterback, hitting a half-court shot.
Well, tell me about what happened about that, because we were asking, like, what was it for? He had to make a bunch of free throws, and then there was a half-court shot.
Somebody else made some free throws, and they got $100 for every free throw they made, and then if he made the half quarter, it was going to double that amount, and then also going to send $5,000 or something to a charity or something.
To the kid that was shooting. So
the kid, there was a kid that made some free throws,
and the kid gets all that money.
Yeah, I believe so. And then a walk-on Boise State quarterback Zeke Martinez from the area hit a half quarter to double the amount the kid won. I believe. Also sent some money to charity. So you had the half quarter by Zeke Martinez. Then he went over there in the section 12 and started like throwing money into the crowd after he won. And then you had Bun dunking and hitting threes. You had Ethan Lathan hitting threes. That we just showed the play from Brennan Ramirez. It was just a much needed afternoon.
Well, it was an unstressful, no stress win. And the Broncos haven't had any of those this year, where it's just they've been able to get a bunch of guys in. You knew what the outcome was going to be. I mean, you knew what the outcome was going to be at Wyoming, but you're up 20, and Wyoming, and it's the weird place, and Wyoming's much better than Air Force. But here, it was no stress. Guys played well, not a lot of minutes logged really for anybody, and some really good games. So I like that a lot of the freshmen got some time. You got Bun Boom with some time and did some good things as well. So. Yeah, great game. Hard to say anything about this type of win.
Yeah, and I don't know where you want to start offensively, but, Drew Fielder, 20 points. But, that was kind of to be in 8 rebounds. Great game for him, but he's obviously been doing that. You look at somebody like a Spencer Aarons, 18 points, 2 off of his career high that he had him in the game against Utah Valley earlier this season. But 18 points for him, hit 4 threes. That fourth one, he had the and one and made the free throw as well. He just looked aggressive. I thought a lot of positives to take moving forward. But if you can get Spencer Aarons, who, by the way, was plus 36, a team high tonight, going even close to this offensive level and this confidence, that changes things offensively.
It does. And I will say that a lot of his first 3 threes came off of really nice passes out of penetration. The one I'm thinking of mostly is A.G. Nato. Very controlled penetration into the paint and then dished it off to his left. And Aarons, when you're a shooter, right, you want to create space. You create space by coming off screens. You create space by driving and step backs. You want to create space from your defender. Aarons being 6'10" and also with releasing the ball way above his head, he creates space vertically. And so that's where he creates his space. So there could be someone crowding him. And because he has such good hands and a high release and already being tall, he'll be able to get that shot off. So great pass from Nato, good shots from Aarons. And we had him on our, I don't know if he said it back there, but we had him as our guest, Bob and I did. And we'd say, Bob's like, tell me about that 4-point play. And the first thing he says, he goes, I might have flopped a little bit. He goes, but hey, I knew the angle that guy's arm came through, and I just kind of slid that way, and so got the 4-point play. So nice move.
And how about R.J. Keene? Only had, I think, 6 made 3-pointers in his first 17 games of the season, has 5 in his last 3.
We're getting to the point where I'm starting to expect that from you now, RJ. I'm starting to expect you to knock down some threes.
I set my notes down somewhere, and I don't know where I put them.
But yeah, RJ's playing well, and he's doing the things that RJ usually does too. He had 7 rebounds in the game, so that's what he usually comes in and does. But man, if he can give you 6 points a game, however he gets it, that'll be big because he's coming in averaging, maybe 2 or so. So you bump that up by a few points, good time of the year to do it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Someone pointed out only 4 turnovers in this game as well. There's just, I think the points per possession was 1.7 almost. They scored on like 70% of the possessions. You can go down the line. The rebounding advantage, 38-19.
Look at bench points.
Bench points were 56-19.
I don't know if I've seen 56.
40-20 points in the paint, 21-9 points off turnovers, 17-5 second chance points. Only 2 fast break points. Come on now.
We went down every single category that we have on our stat sheet, and there was only one where Boise State wasn't winning, and they were tied, and it was blocked shots with 3.
Unacceptable. 12 of 23 from three-point range. I mean, shot the ball well from the outside. I mean, Air Force actually hit a couple early. They're one of the worst three-point shooting teams in all of college basketball, but they hit a couple early, and you're like, you knew it probably wasn't sustainable, but you're like, okay, they're hanging around here. And then Boise State just slowly started to add to the lead in 8. I'm going to have to really look it up here, but another 18-0 run. 2 games in a row now, 18-0 runs. I can't imagine that's happened, A, very much this season in college basketball, and B, very much in recent history of Boise State basketball. I mean, it's pretty hard to go on an 18-0 run. They've now done it 2 games in a row.
There's a lot of things that have to go right on an 18-0 run. I mean, you can't foul when someone's shooting and make free throws. You can't really turn it over, and you got to knock down your own shots, and the Broncos have done that. And I think this type of game really can help the Broncos moving forward, and not just because it's a big win, but everybody contributed. After a win like this, everybody feels good. Everybody has momentum, and not just because of the win, but because whoever got in did some really good things.
Yeah.
I mean, Lathan knocked down a couple free throws. He did pick up, 7 fouls in 2 minutes?
Yeah.
That's about what –
it was 4 and 4.
It was 4 and 4.
Yeah.
But he knocked it down. I mean, there were good minutes from a lot of young guys on this team that maybe don't see a lot of minutes. I think you can take some of that experience, put it on film, have them break it down, and take that moving forward.
What does that do just for the morale of the team, too? For guys that, we just think about 9 days ago, coming to practice on a 4-game losing streak, flying back from UNLV after losing in overtime for a 4th straight loss, and having to have 2 days to get ready for a Colorado State game, just kind of showing up dejected to practice, whatever. But to be on a 3-game winning streak and to see guys like Brendan Ramirez hit that 3, and guys like Ethan Lathan that don't play much dunking, and Bunn getting a couple of buckets, and even Spencer, who hasn't played a ton, in recent games, going off like that. I mean, it just seemed like I said, I showed the video. I'll show it again while we're talking, but the celebration on the bench, what this, what these guys mean to each other, it just seemed like it was a very needed afternoon in terms of the morale and everything.
Yeah, I think it was. And, momentum is such a huge thing in sports, as you see guys just going crazy. I thought that was right in front of us. I thought Keene was running out onto the floor. He ran right by me at full speed, and then he pulled up. But momentum is so big. We talk about momentum in a game, right? How the ebbs and flows, and you take momentum, but it happens throughout a season too. And the momentum was way down earlier with those 4 losses, and now with 3 wins in a row. I don't know if there's a team that's playing better. Maybe Grand Canyon, but I don't know if there's a team that's playing better than the last 3 or 4 games in Boise State in the conference right now.
Yeah, part of that is the schedule, but I mean, when you play Colorado State and Wyoming, those were 2 more mid-level Mountain West teams. Obviously, we said, hey, yeah, this was a stretch you had to take advantage of, and to this point they have.
They have, and they got San Jose, and then you play well. You play like, tonight and against Colorado State and against Wyoming. You take those games, you take that Wyoming game and you bottle it up and take that to Phoenix and play Grand Canyon. I don't know. I like the Broncos' chances if they can do that.
If you'd have told me before the game, Andrew Meadows is only going to have 5 points, Dylan Andrews is only going to have 1 point. You go down the list here, you're thinking, okay, there might be.
We'd only win by 20.
Yeah,
that's what I'd have been
score
thinking.
96 points.
Right.
I mean, somebody pointed out the bench. We mentioned 56 points, outscored Air Force's entire team 56-54. You may have been able to rest Boise State's 5 starters and still probably won this game. I don't know.
Probably. Well, it was almost like it. I mean, you look at the minutes, and no one's over 30, and I think 23 might be the most.
27 for Aaron's, and then it was 23 down. I think they had 9 guys or 10 guys with at least 17, though. They were really able to spread that out with only 2 days off before you go, Sunday, Monday, and play San Jose. Then 2 days off again. They're on this Tuesday, Friday, 3 games in the next, 6-7 days here. Yeah. Just a huge win. And I mean, can you find anything you didn't like? I mean, they played pretty good defense. Air Force only shoots 41%. I mean, I jokingly say only 2 fast break points, but it's hard really to find
But Boise State still won that category.
2-0.
Because Air Force had 0. Yeah.
Somebody pointing out NATO, 11 points, 4 boards, 3 assists, 2 steals.
That's a
Love that stat, Brian.
Great point guard stat line.
And we didn't talk about it. I kind of gloss over, but only 4 turnovers.
Yeah. So you asked me if there's anything I could think of that I wanted to change or that was negative, and I really can't. I mean, they came out, they beat a team that they were supposed to, and they beat them really bad as well. And so I don't know. I don't think there's really anything. And there's, of course, everyone will say there's no perfect game that you're ever going to play, but that's about as close to one as I can remember.
And like I said, maybe the coolest moment of the night, Abe Jackson out there on center. I didn't know they were going all the way to center court there for Abe Jackson. Jeremiah Dickey out there on the court, giving him his I guess he wasn't giving you the award, but giving you praise, the Idaho Sportscaster of the Year for 2025. And what was that moment like being out there at midcourt, Abe?
You don't know what to do with your hands. I'm telling you, the camera's on you, and you just kind of sit there and you're waving, but it really is an honor. I mean, it truly is. It's something that I didn't even have on my radar.
Hold on a second. We need to get – there's a couple people standing for you. We need to get more of the arena on their feet here. I mean, come on. Come on.
You know, I was going to say, it's just something that was never on my radar. I never even thought that I would have my name in there, even have the opportunity to do it. I know that you've won it, BJ, on the sports writer side of things.
I'm coming for the broadcaster side.
I know. Now you got
coming for you.
You got the 2-time. You got to do the double dip. I know Bob's won it multiple times, and I just didn't think it'd be something on the radar. But I don't know. Really honored and just been fantastic for 18 years calling the games and being involved with Boise State athletics. I watched the games growing up. I played the games in uniform. And then 18 years I've been able to call it. So I've been around a lot of Boise State basketball.
And I mean, when you came out there was right about when they kind of took off. I mean, so I think we could say that 18-0 run was right after you came out on the court. And I mentioned some of the fans getting fired up, standing and applauding for you there. I mean, I think that deserves a little bit of the credit here. But all jokes aside, I mean, it really was just it was a party today. I mean, like I said, you see the bench, all those guys playing. And you got, like I said, Zeke Martinez hitting a half-court shot. You're getting honored. I mean, it was just a really fun
2 o'clock
day.
Game.
Yes.
I mean, people are getting out of here at 4:30,
yes.
and you got the whole evening. If you could play every game on the weekend at 2 o'clock, I think everybody involved would love that.
Bob Schuler, old catcher for the Boise State baseball team. I was on my feet. Great job.
All right.
Bob was
Thanks,
one of the
Bob.
ones standing there. I mean, I guess I could go on a ripping of the students for not showing up. That would be the one thing I guess you could say wasn't perfect, but I'll let that go tonight. It was a solid game, solid performance. And Abe, final thing for you. I mean, next week, Tuesday at San Jose, Friday at Grand Canyon, there may not be a bigger stretch of any team in the league, maybe any team in the country, faces than 300 or 400 fans in an empty high school type arena in San Jose versus the sellout crowd waiting for them at Grand Canyon and that student section on Friday. Going to be two very different challenges, but next week, but a chance to keep this thing rolling.
Yeah, decibel levels might be the biggest discrepancy of any two road games that the Broncos have ever been involved in. And each place has their own different difficulty and what makes it difficult. San Jose, the Broncos have lost there before, and it's just a tough place to play. It's a tough feel. The fans aren't into it. The building itself doesn't even feel like it should have a college basketball team in it. And then you go to Grand Canyon, who I think the Broncos did play them, and I think it was, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 years ago. And I called that game. It was myself and Chris Lewis. And at that time, I didn't know what I was walking into. And it was one of the best college basketball environments I've been in. And now that they're playing well, they even look crazier on TV. So, yeah, the difference in venues are going to be pretty shocking. But I think the Broncos will get a win on Tuesday and hopefully carry some momentum of a game like this, a win at San Jose, and take that to Phoenix in one of the toughest places to play in the country.
I was jokingly saying, can we find anything to nitpick about anything negative? And Josh and Brenley Fife pointing out 7 missed free throws, so only 18 of 25 from the line. I guess we found something we could get a little better at. But Abe, again, congrats on the award.
Thank you.
Cool, memorable night for you and a lot of people. And I think Brennan Ramirez will always be able to say that day that he hit his first ever points in a Boise State uniform was the same day that Abe Jackson was honored at midcourt for his award. But
we have a comment here, and just a shout out to Roberto and Jerry Washington, of course, Joe Wyatt, some names that I played with, and some back in the day. And Jerry Washington, one of my favorite guys that I got to play with, and of course Berto on the staff right now as well. So thank you for that. Thank you for that comment there. Those are some names from the past that are pretty cool to see bring up.
And I'm going to either make a better video or post that video at some point. It was cool. We had a couple folks on the pregame show give you some congratulations. And hope before the actual ceremony in June, maybe we'll put a little better video together. But I think
all good, man. I appreciate that.
You and Bob's voice, man, been synonymous with Boise State basketball for 18 years, and this is, I think, our third year, right, doing this.
I think so,
yep. Really cool, and appreciate you wanting to do this, and you certainly have added a ton to the pregame and postgame shows for us.
All
so
right.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. And looking forward to next week on the road, back-to-back road games, and that should be fun. And always appreciate Abe for coming on. Let's hear from Leon Rice. We're not going to hear his full presser. This is going to probably be a little shorter show than usual, folks, but let's hear from Leon. And thanks again to Abe. And this is the Jackson's Postgame Show. Here's Leon Rice.
And kangaroos cannot hop backwards.
Oh, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong Leon Rice video. How about that? Kangaroos not hopping backwards. Yeah, there you go. I will find the correct Leon Rice. That was yesterday. He was just in just as good of a mood yesterday. Sorry about that. Here is Leon Rice speaking with the media today after the win. Again, the Broncos 96-54. What an offensive showing. Tim Duryea was in his bag of tricks tonight. Just offensive efficiency, 1.7 points per possession tonight, scoring on 70% of their possessions. Just an offensive clinic for Boise State tonight. And here is Coach Leon Rice after the game.
Kind of a fun day for a lot of people today.
Yeah, and much needed, much deserved, because there's a lot of guys on this on this team, and especially Bun, who shows up with amazing attitude every day. Practices so good and hard, and just hasn't gotten opportunity. So for him, because his opportunities have been like a pinch hitter. Go in and don't strike out. You got one at bat. That's hard to be a good player that way. And so for him to get to be aggressive and have the freedom to make some mistakes, it helps him get better. But yeah, I was really, really proud of our approach, because these kids know who they were playing. They knew that team's record, and I think it's disrespectful to a team if you're not ready to play, and if you're not playing hard, and you're not playing, And Air Force came out and played hard, and you saw if you just let them stand there and shoot, they'll make them. And we had to be able to stop them, and we got better. Our defense got better and better as the game wore on, and our bench. I mean, really proud of those guys. I mean, they're getting better and better and better. I thought AG and Spence were huge, and they needed to have those kind of games, because I'm seeing it in practice, and they just now it translates to games more and more, and that's a really important day for us.
When Brennan hit that three-pointer,
yeah.
the bench reaction was, maybe one I haven't seen in my 13 years here.
I know.
You flash back to 9 days ago, whatever, and think about that kind of moment now.
I know.
What can you say about this?
That's what's you see why I enjoy these guys so much, because they care about the right stuff. They battle. They, and that the team means something to them. Each player means something to them. I thought he hit one last year. I didn't know that was his first. So I was like, oh, that's nice. He hit another one, great. But because I've seen him hit them in practice, he's a good shooter. So that was really cool. And then, Ethan got a nice dunk off Ray's assist. And there were some neat things, because, the starters only played 16, 18, 13, 17, 17. And the cool thing about them, like I said, you saw how they celebrated. You saw how, and they made the most out of their minutes. They were good in their minutes. They guarded. They cared about the possessions. And so, yeah, as the coach, you just feel really good about those guys the whole team getting rewarded for their hard grind and what they're doing. And as a coach, you get excited about the way we are practicing, and that, like, there's not a lot of teams that are excited to get back together tomorrow. This group is, and it's paying off for them, and that's why, that's what can make us different.
Obviously, a game like this, maybe only so much you can take away from it. But what are kind of the biggest takeaways that you think you can look at this game and help you moving forward?
Well, the biggest takeaways is the maturity of the approach and the maturity of valuing every second out there together. That's the maturity, because, like I said, you look at their record and you're like, well, we're gonna, you've had teams where you have to keep them going. No, they had a great approach, and they were valuing every possession. They used it as an opportunity for us to get better, and we did. I mean, I don't care who you're playing or what you're doing. 18 assists, 4 turnovers. 18 assists, 4 turnovers. That's pretty good basketball. And our offense we were making each other better, you know. And again, the great thing is, without, like, Menno got hit in the eye and his contact was giving him problems and blah, blah, blah. You know, he was kind of a non-factor, and that's one of our leading scorers. And so for us to play that efficiently, that good with with all the guys that played, and not just, hey, 5 guys played good, because that, like I said, the power of our team and the strength of our team is what can carry us through.
Air Force came out and was actually hitting a couple of 3-pointers there. You mentioned it earlier. Was it just a case of tightening things up and locking down the perimeter a little bit more?
Yeah, because they run good stuff. They're well coached. They're disciplined. They're Air Force. And they're skilled. And if you give them looks, they will make them. And they looked comfortable, a little too comfortable those first 4 minutes. And it was 8 to 9. I mean, it was, but we just kept tightening the noose, getting better, and our defense got better.
What do you see from Spencer? It's been a few weeks since he's been this evolved offensively. Just how's his approach been?
Yeah, amazing. And that's one of the guys I'm talking about, because he's got a basketball mind that is kind of brilliant. Now, to use that, it can't be all or nothing, because he's an aggressive scorer too. So there has to be a balance. There's a time for an aggressive scorer. There's a time to kind of run the team, use your skill, because it's almost like a point forward, or I jokingly call him Sangoon. Like, play on the ground, play slower, and then we can trust you with the ball all the time, and that's what he's been working on. And you saw how good he is. Like, I felt great when he had the ball, and he took good shots, but he still was aggressive, and he's going to be a heck of a, he already is. I mean, he had 18 points, 5 rebounds in how many minutes? About 27. Yeah, but that's the player he's evolving to be, and those are the habits he's working on in practice, and to see him translate is awesome.
You mentioned everyone getting excited about coming to practice. What can it do for the morale when Brennan hits that 3 and Bun's dunking and Ethan gets points, and those guys, it might be a little easier for them to come show up at practice?
No doubt, because it is hard. It is so hard when you, and it, you don't want it my words to ring empty, where keep going, you'll get rewarded for it. Keep going, you get rewarded for it. You can only say that so much. You better be able to do it, and you better, want to do it. And, so for me to keep saying that, and for them to keep believing it, and then get rewarded for it, boy, it is powerful. And so it's really neat.
Was the hope to spread the minutes out the way you did, or did that just kind of way the game evolved? You're able to get guys in there so much?
Both, because Drew got a little foul trouble, but the development of our, of all our guys is really important to us for this stretch run. And I think probably one of the biggest keys, because that group, I think we have something not a lot of teams have, with our second unit.
Could we have drawn today up any better?
I'm trying to think. I don't know if I could. And that's what's cool, is because you don't get to script it, you have these things in your head like, oh, I'd love it to go this way. You don't get to script it. And but when it goes as like a script, then wow, that's great. But like I said, it goes like that because of our guys' approach, our guys' mindset, our guys' leadership, all those things that we've been working on, our guys' team. We talk about celebrating for each other. Yeah, you just mentioned one of the greatest sideline celebrations in Boise State history. So, yeah, that's cool. And all those things matter. And, that's why you keep grinding.
You scored on 70% of your possessions, 1.6 points per possession.
Wow.
Just that offensive efficiency, how fun is that when it works out like that?
Exactly. And they made plays for each other. There wasn't thirsty guys, which also can happen in a game like that. They were just playing right, both offensively and defensively. And it looked really, really good.
Any thoughts on the upcoming road trip?
Yeah, it's, we're going to chunk it out. We got to, playing at San Jose has its challenges and it's tough, and we got to attack that and be ready to go. And those are quick turnarounds. We got tomorrow and Monday, then we got beat travel on Monday, and then you play on Tuesday. So yeah, it's a challenge, and playing on the road in this league, we know what that's about.
I know you guys don't want to focus too much on standings, but what would getting back to 500 for you guys?
We don't focus on that. We want to know. That's really it. And not even that. We focus on, okay, we got the rest of the day to enjoy this, and then tomorrow, what can we do to get better? How are we getting better? How are we getting fresh? How are we getting excited to go play our next one? That's it. And that's what these guys have been amazing at, is whatever task, on to the next job. From assignment to assignment, and our next assignment will be tomorrow. The best recovery day we can have and the best prep we can have.
Well, there he is, Leon Rice, speaking with the media after the game. Again, the party is on. A big celebration for Boise State tonight, 96-54. Cannot wait to go back and hear Jake Tust on the call from this one. 96-54, the final. Again, pretty much everything went right for Boise State tonight. 20 points for Drew Fielder, 18 for Spencer Aarons, 11 for A.G. Nato, and then 9 for Carmichael. I mean, you got everybody in the scoring column here. 5 for Meadow, 8 for Buchanan, 1 for Andrews, 6 for R.J. Keene. Again, 2 made threes for Keene. He had only 6 in the first 17 games. Now he has 5 in the last 3 games, so he's upped his scoring output, which has been nice to see the last couple of games. Parolin with 6, 9, as I said, for Carmichael, 5 for Bun Bomb, 4 for Ethan Lathan. Brendan Ramirez with the play of the game, that three-pointer in the corner, and the bench reaction there was pretty darn cool tonight. Again, the Broncos make a 12 of 23 from three-point range, 52.2%. They shoot 56.9% overall from the field. They hold Air Force at just 41.6% from the field. They out-rebound them 38-19, and it is really hard to find anything not to like, again, about this one. 40-20 edge points in the paint, 17-5 second chance edge, 56-19 in bench scoring. Again, Boise State's bench, as somebody pointed out in the chat earlier in the show, outscored the entire Air Force team 56-54. The Broncos were up 19 at the half. They coasted. Air Force goes 29-25 for a total of 54 points. Boise State 48 in the first half, 48 in the second half, 96 total points for Boise State in this one. And I know a lot of the Ken Palm numbers and things don't really matter at this point for Boise State, but they do go up 6 spots. They were number 68 going into the game. They're up to number 62. They've won 3 games in a row. They're now back to 4-5 in league play. And I know Leon didn't really want to touch on it there at the end of the last question, but if they can find a way to win on Tuesday against San Jose, they'll be back to 5-5 in Mountain West play after the 1-5 start. So just what a difference. You think about that overtime loss to UNLV, having the team flying back. You're on a 4-game losing streak. Folks were calling for Leon Rice to be fired, and what is his buyout? And we got to have bigger expectations for Boise State basketball and all this. And you wondered even in the locker room how the players, how the coaches were all handling with this. You know, Leon had his public comments and was unhappy with things and was as critical as I've seen him in a long time. And to see the way this team has just responded and what a difference 8 or 9 days makes. You take down Colorado State at home. You go to Wyoming and get a big win, and then now you take down let's be honest, a pretty depleted, pretty bad Air Force team. I mean, you can't take a whole lot away from this game because you did what you were supposed to do. You won by 42. 42. But the spread was only 23. I mean, you doubled up the spread basically. So it was a pretty impressive win. Air Force falls to 3-17. They're now 0-9 in Mountain West play, and I'm not sure if Air Force wins another game the rest of the season. They're just not very good. I hate to say it. I feel bad saying it, but Air Force is just not very good. Boise State did what they needed to do today, spread the minutes out, spread the playing time out, spread the points out, and kept guys fresh and got maybe as much confidence as they've had all season at this point, heading into a big stretch next week on the road. We are going to hear from Spencer Aarons and Drew Fielder here in just a second, but this Lithia Ford of Boise is our title sponsor. We want to appreciate them for their support of Bronco Nation News. Lithia Ford of Boise. You can check them out at lithiafordboise.com. View their full inventory of vehicles, but some great specials and deals going on right now. They had announced Ben Ford as their latest NIL athlete. More to come, so we appreciate Lithia Ford of Boise. Perfect time to have a Sun Cruiser. I'll be having a couple Sun Cruisers tonight, probably some Sun Cruisers tomorrow, watching some football. Sun Cruiser, real iced tea, real vodka. They have the iced tea lemonades, the vodka lemonades, low calorie, low carb. I don't BS when I talk about products on here, folks, but I truly mean it with Sun Cruiser. It's one of my favorite drinks going right now, and you need to get some Sun Cruisers. Check them out today. You will not be disappointed. Hey, ICCU, they got Pearson Carmichael. They got Natalie Pasco. And by the way, how about shout out to the women's basketball team? They won their 6th game in a row, 6 wins in a row for the women's basketball team. They are rolling right now. They just won at Grand Canyon today. So shout out to the women's basketball team. Big win for them today. And they're heading home victorious again, 6 in a row for them. So congratulations to the women's team. But Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. You can check them out. The best in the business, the mobile e-branch online banking, so easy to use, and Idaho Central Credit Union online, ICCU.com. All right, we got a couple deals to tell you about. First, the Broncos went well over 75 points, so you can get a 75-cent fountain drink on Monday at Jackson's. 75-cent fountain drink using your Let's Go Rewards app Monday at Jackson's. That's Monday, 75-cent fountain drink from our friends at Jackson's. And because don't forget also they have the 99-cent coffee anytime, day or night, using your Let's Go Rewards app. And because the Broncos got 83 points, I couldn't get the graphic put in fast enough, but you saw it on the scoreboard. If you were at the game tonight, take your ticket stub to any Treasure Valley Taco Bell location tomorrow, and you get a free taco. That's right, a free taco. We'll have to see if Johnny Ballgame tries it with his press pass tomorrow, but a free taco from Taco Bell for anyone that was at the game tonight since they scored 83 points. Make sure you take your ticket stub to any Treasure Valley Taco Bell location. Your digital ticket stub will work fine, and get a free taco tomorrow from Taco Bell. Hey, the Blue and Orange Store, they got your new gear. Again, we're going to hear momentarily from Drew Fielder and Spencer Aarons after the Boise State win. But if saw Travis Hawks at the game, if you need some Boise State gear, the Blue and Orange Store has you covered. Boise State gear, the Blue and Orange Store online at theblueandorangestore.com. Get your Boise State gear at the Blue and Orange Store online, theblueandorangestore.com, and you can get those customized basketball jerseys there at the Allen Noble Hall of Fame location. They got 14,000 plus hats on the hat wall there at the location at the Boise Town Square Mall. Or the easiest, you can order anywhere in the world online at theblueandorangestore.com. All right, we're taking your comments, we're taking your thoughts, we're taking your questions. I didn't see the final score, but San Diego State takes down UNLV on the road, so the Aztecs continue to do what they do and keep themselves at the top of the Mountain West standings. San Diego State, big win for them. They had the tough loss to Grand Canyon by 1 point. They bounced back in a big way with a big win, and San Diego State gets a win. We'll take a look at the scoreboard here in a little bit. But let's see. Air Force isn't the best judge of character game. When we go against Nevada again, it will at least show a little bit more. Wait till next Utah game to really see. Yeah, like I said, I get it. Folks are gonna, if you're either a fan or you're not, and if you're not on the, if you're on the side of you want Leon gone and you're not happy with what you're seeing, you're gonna say, okay, well they have a 3-game winning streak, but they're against 3 bad teams, and they've just beat an Air Force team they were supposed to crush, and some of you will say that and think that, and I look out downtown. Max teams will be on the loose tonight, folks, celebrating this one. 96-54 the win. But, again, it is what it is. Some of you guys are going to, the negative side will be, well, they haven't played anybody. It's Air Force. Let's wait till we play a real team. And I get it. There's some truth to that. Air Force is not very good. You did what you were supposed to do. In fact, you did more than you were supposed to do. You're supposed to win by 23 points, and you end up winning by over 40. So, but if you're on the side of just wanting to see improvement, wanting to see some things to build and get excited about, I think you certainly have seen that this last stretch as well. So, a lot to take away from this one. Final score was standing 96-54. Again, Air Force falls to 3-17. They're 0-9 in Mountain West play. Boise State improves to 12-8, now 4-5. In Mountain West play. Again, pretty much every stat on the stat sheet just dominated by Boise State, including 20 points from Drew Fielder, 18 points from Spencer Aarons. They met with the media after the game. Spencer is on the left, Drew on the right, meeting with the media after the win.
Yeah, I mean, seeing that first shot go in was huge for me. I needed it. Haven't hit a 3 in a couple games, so seeing that go in just gave me all the confidence I needed to keep shooting and just making the right reads.
What's the difference in the feeling from 9 days ago to right now for this team?
I think we just been working super hard in practice, and like I'm gonna keep saying it, like the harder we work in practice, the better we play in the game. So we're just trusting the process, and just we're worried about that, not the outcome, and then that's when the outcome we want comes. So
just to see Brennan and Bun and Ethan and all these guys get out there and score and stuff. I mean, the celebrations on the bench and stuff. I mean, just how much fun? How much did you guys need a game like today?
I mean, shoot, that's why we play basketball, for just moments like that. And we know how hard they work for us and for themselves and for the team. And so it just feels really good to see them go out and, get some love from the fans and stuff. So, I mean, that's great. But, yeah, that's why we play basketball, for those moments. And it just feels good to be a part of a culture like this.
To get a win where you guys get a lead pretty early and you never let your foot off the brake and it's pretty comfortable the whole game, just how good of a feeling is that to see that work finally pay off?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Spence.
Yeah, it was pretty huge. I think Coach at halftime was saying, like, it feels like we got 6 people, they got 4. Having that feeling finally after all those tough losses, those tough games was great. So we just need to keep building on that.
When you guys are up by, was it 20, whatever, at half, just, I guess, how do you keep that edge about you guys to come out in the second half and keep it going?
Just approach the game like it's 0-0. We're never worried about the other team. We're worried about improving ourselves and trying to play the best basketball we can play. So we just that 0-0 approach, first 4 minutes approach, and that's why we were able to keep the foot on the gas pedal.
What would be the significance of winning the next game and getting to 500 in league play? Would that feel like kind of a reset for you guys?
I mean, no, we're not too worried about our record when we're in here. We're just worried about preparing for the next game. We're worried about just playing the best basketball we can play, and worried about, preparing as humbly as possible so we can go out and compete. And yeah, it'd be nice, get 500 or whatever, but we're just worried about the next game.
Spence, we know you kind of touched on it, but it has been, a couple weeks ago was a rough time for you guys. How much does a game like today and the streak you're on, everything just kind of, is it needed? How much does it kind of fuel you guys from this point?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you could see like a couple guys played really good today, and me finally getting that will just build our confidence. Like that's all we needed, really, just confidence. After losing those games pretty badly, you kind of question yourself almost and say like, are we really this good? But then, like what we did today, like that shows if we play like that, we can be one of the best teams.
Good.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, there you go. Spencer Aarons and Drew Fielder meeting with the media after this one. Again, Boise State takes down Air Force 96-54. We need a Matt Bauscher player of the game. We also need a signature roofing scoreboard check. We're also going to check in on the Element Fencing defensive player of the game. We'll get to that in just a second, but if you have a defensive player of the game, a player of the game, let us know. But want to thank Ridley's Family Markets. Shop Ridleys.com. Download that Skip app. Get savings up to 40% off of the checkout line. And if you're looking for that hometown, just kind of grocery store feel, Ridley's Family Markets has you covered. 13 Idaho locations, many more in surrounding states. Check out Ridley's Family Markets. Hey, roepaint.com, ROEpaint.com. All your painting needs, whether it's interior, exterior painting, whether it's the concrete coatings, they got you covered. So make sure you check out roepaint.com. Again, Andy Rowe and company, we appreciate them for their support of Bronco Nation News online at roepaint.com. Transportation Compliance Service, transcomservice.com. You can get into the trucking industry at transcomservice.com. Transportation Compliance Service, whether it's DOT, overweight, all the permits and things you need to get out there towing that first load in no time. Check out Transportation Compliance Service. All right, Signature Roofing. We want those voicemails. We'll play some on Monday's show. Speakpipe.com/BNN. Speakpipe.com/BNN. It's brought to you by Signature Roofing. Online at mysignatureroofing.com. Whether it's a re-roof, a repair, an estimate, or an inspection, Signature Roofing, covering our community one roof at a time. And we appreciate their support of Bronco Nation News. A check of our Signature Roofing, a scoreboard update. Wyoming hangs on to beat San Jose State 66-62, but San Jose on the road battling tough, but does fall at Wyoming, and they are now 1-8 in Mountain West play. Again, the Broncos will play at San Jose on Tuesday. San Jose loses. They fall tonight 66-62 at Wyoming. At San Diego State 82, UNLV 71. So San Diego State gets the 11-point win on the road in Las Vegas, and they bounced back from their tough loss the other day. 23 points for Miles Bird, and Gibbs Lawhorn was at it again for UNLV, scoring 27 points. 2 more games coming up here in a little bit. Grand Canyon is at Fresno State. That'll be at the Save Mart Center out in Fresno coming up in about 15 minutes. Grand Canyon is a 4-point favorite there. And then Nevada is at New Mexico. Steve Alford returning to the pit. That's at 6 o'clock on Fox Sports 1. That's a 8.5-point spread for New Mexico in that one. So Grand Canyon, Fresno, Nevada, New Mexico still to come. And then we'll have another night in the Mountain West with Tom Moser breaking down all the action today. So Tom will have his thoughts on the Boise State game, all the other games happening today. So appreciate Tom. That'll be right about 8 o'clock Mountain Time when that last Nevada-New Mexico game goes final. You'll be able to check out another night in the Mountain West here on Bronco Nation News. Aaron's player of the game, Keene, defensive player of the game, Spencer. Let's go ahead and give our Matt Bauscher Real Estate player of the game. We're going to give it to, you got multiple options here, but just because of what he did tonight, I think we'll give it to Spencer Aarons. 18 points, 5 rebounds, 6 of 10 from the field, 4 of 6 from 3-point range, hit 2 of 3 free throws, had 3 assists as well, and 2 steals. Let's give it to let's give our Matt Bauscher Real Estate player of the game to Spencer Aarons in 27 minutes. Impressive game from him. Bauscher Real Estate online at BauscherRealEstate.com. Number 1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley yet again is Matt Bauscher and Bauscher Real Estate online at BauscherRealEstate.com. All right, Element Fencing, elementfencing.com. Decks, pergolas, fences, whether it's cedar, wrought iron, vinyl, they can do it all. Elementfencing.com. Brady & Company, family-owned fencing company for more than 25 years. You can see some of their craftsmanship on the screen here. Element Fencing, they provide our defensive player of the game. You have some different options tonight. A.G. Nato had 2 steals. I thought he was causing some problems out there at the top of the key. R.J. Keene did some things defensively as well. He had a block. Spencer Aarons also had a block. I mean, Spencer Aarons had 2 steals and a block. I don't know if we can give him both the defensive and the regular player of the game as well. But we're going to go we'll go with R.J. Keene tonight. 17 minutes. Did have block. I thought he played pretty good defense. A.G. Nato as well. We'll let them split it. A.G. Nato had 2 steals, was playing pretty well tonight. A.G. Nato, R.J. Keene are defensive players of the game. Brought to you again by Element Fencing. Enjoy listening to the Mountain West show. He does a great job. He does a great job. I know he's sick today. He's a little bit under the weather, so as long as he's feeling okay, he will have a show about 8 p.m. tonight. But if he is struggling, there may not be a show tonight. We'll see. But a couple games in the Mountain West tonight. And, again, a lot to like tonight for Boise State. They win it 96-54. Everybody got involved. Everybody had some fun. And they're going to feel good about coming back to practice when they do the next time from this one. But going to be a quick turnaround. Tuesday in San Jose, Friday at Grand Canyon. Of course, Bronco Nation News will be at both games. I'm excited to be there. And as always, the only local media outlet aside from Bob and Abe that are making the expense and the effort and the travel to cover this team on the road. So appreciate you guys. Hopefully you'll go subscribe, return the favor, BroncoNationNews.com. Just $6 a month to get our 50% off deal. You can also try us $2 for 1 month, or excuse me, 1 month for $2. You're not sure you like us, you want to read Prater's column, all of our recruiting coverage, you get 2 months trial for $1 at BroncoNationNews.com, or you can just subscribe. One-time fee for the full year, 50% off. We'd love to have you at BroncoNationNews.com, part of the 24/7 Sports family. And again, we'll be live Monday morning at 9 a.m. We'll be live every morning next week at 9 a.m., but Tuesday we'll be live from San Jose. I'm trying to think of the credit union, what the name of the arena is there in San Jose. The Event Center, I think, is in San Jose. And we'll be live pregame, live postgame coverage as Boise State looks to go for a 4th straight win in San Jose on Tuesday. So appreciate you guys for checking out the show tonight. The Sun Cruiser Studios. Make sure you pick up some Sun Cruisers this weekend. Perfect time to watch some football, to celebrate tonight. Sun Cruiser, whether it's the iced tea vodkas, the lemonade iced teas, the lemonade vodkas, so many different options and flavors. The strawberry lemonade is my favorite flavor. So appreciate Sun Cruiser. Of course, Lithia Ford of Boise, our title sponsor. LithiaFordBoise.com. You can view those full inventory vehicles at LithiaFordBoise.com. And, of course, Jackson's our post-game show sponsor here. You get 75-cent fountain drinks on Monday with the Broncos scoring 75 points tonight. Jackson's, our post-game show sponsor here on Bronco Nation News. We appreciate Jackson's for their support of Bronco Nation News. And again, Broncos have now won 3 in a row. They got some momentum. They're going to San Jose looking for 4. And if they can get 4, they'll be back to 500 in league and have a chance for a big win against Grand Canyon on Friday night. So big week coming up for the Broncos. And, of course, Bronco Nation News will be there every step of the way to follow it for you. And hopefully you'll go subscribe at bronconationnews.com. If you can't, at least give us a subscription or a like here on YouTube. Tell your friends. Share this video, whether you're watching us on X or on Facebook, on YouTube, as I said. Just tell your friends, share the video, like the video, and to help us increase our views and our subscribers here on YouTube. But we'd love to have you on the website side as well, part of the 24/7 Sports family. You get all the recruiting coverage from Chris, all the analysis from Nathan, columns and opinions from Prater, and coverage of the team, myself. I've already been working on my story for tonight, and Zeke Martinez and that half-court shot he hit makes my lead in my story that you can read after later this evening on BroncoNationNews.com. So thank you to the 500-plus of you watching this show. Hope you enjoy the rest of your Saturday evening. Enjoy the football. We'll leave you with one more shot of Brennan Ramirez hitting that three-pointer and the bench reaction. The party was on, and for good reason, here today at Extra Mile Arena. Again, 96-54, the final score. This has been the Jackson's postgame show from our title sponsor, Lithia Ford of Boise, broadcasting courtside in the Sun Cruiser Studios. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And here's Brennan Ramirez three-pointer. We'll talk to you guys Monday morning. Check out BroncoNationNews.com, and have a great rest of your weekend, everybody.